So, my idea is to create a resource for recently returned missionaries. Allow me to back up momentarily. Oh. The problem is many recently returned missionaries who have served missions for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints experience a very rough transition period, almost like a reverse culture shock, where they feel like they have a hard time adjusting back to normal life. So, in order to gain a broader understanding of what these missionaries were experiencing, despite the fact that I myself have been a missionary, we conducted surveys. We surveyed over 85 missionaries who had returned home in the last year, and many of them reported feeling nervousness and disorientation when they initially returned home. They also felt like they lacked validation and understanding of all the changes they had experienced, and they were struggling to create a new normal. There is an existing resource for missionaries currently. It's called My Plan. However, the problem is there is an extreme lack of follow-up with My Plan. So at times, missionaries felt like they didn't even utilize that as a resource when they returned home. So, initial ideation, we came up with a lot of different ideas. We thought we could make an app, we thought we could do leadership coaching, we thought we could do an institute class. We decided ultimately that the institute class would be the best course of action just because it was the most applicable. A portion of my plan has missionaries fill out a form that registers them for an institute class. So we felt that class, we should just redesign the class. And we thought that that would be more applicable and easier. So, getting into the prototype, what is the experience going to look like? How will it be structured? So here's a little outline of a prototype that we are wanting to test. This is just a basic structure of how the class is going to go. So, um, missionaries will, in the prototype experience, missionaries will enter the classroom. They will be seated according to where they serve. We want to group them according to where they serve so they can feel more relatedness and connectedness with one another, whether that be South America, Europe, stateside, Asia, wherever. Um, the institute teacher will introduce him or herself and share just a brief scripture just to kind of set the tone for the class and underline that it is a spiritual resource. So we want to start the class with storytelling circles. We want to encourage the missionaries to reflect on their mission experience and have that opportunity. At the start of every class, missionaries will be given a prompt, and within their groups of people that they served around, they will share a story from their mission. For example, maybe the prompt is share an experience that you had with an animal on your mission, and they'll have a chance each to share. Next, we'll want to do a vision board activity since a lot of participants and a lot of returned missionaries reported feeling disoriented and unsure of how to move forward with a clear purpose in mind. We want them to be able to have a clear purpose. And so by allowing them to create a visual representation of what they want and who they want to become, this will accomplish that. Next, we're going to do a goal setting activity. So we want the missionaries to feel comfortable. Goal setting is something they did frequently on their mission, but we want them to be applying what they learned into their new normal. So we will do this by doing a goal setting activity. They'll write down 1 to 2 goals and a clear timeline for how they're going to achieve them. Next, in the prototype experience, we'll have an introduction to the mentoring program. So every missionary will be assigned a peer mentor who will be in contact with them throughout their transition and who they will meet with regularly in order to go review their goals. The class will end with a closing testimony. However, the prototype experience will not end here because we want to also test that mentoring experience and see how that will go. So we'll spend the last 10 minutes of the prototyping experience doing a little sample mentor meeting where missionaries can meet one-on-one with a mentor and see how that goes. So we're going to test this prototype by asking for volunteers from both BYU and UVU of people who have returned home from their mission in the last 6 months. We'll ask for 30 volunteers. The prototype will take place at the Utah Valley Institute of Religion here in Orem, and it will be 30 minutes in duration. At the end of the experience, we'll be sure to gather feedback surveys using open-ended and closed-ended questions just so that we can get a good idea of how the experience was and what we should do in future iterations. Thank you.